Hello, my name is Ryan O'Connell. I'll be your training instructor. In this training video, we're going to talk about the basics of how to create groups in Azure Active Directory. So in order to create our groups, we can either go through the portal, we can create a group via PowerShell, and we can create a group via the CLI or bash command. So we're going to go through and explore these three methods: the portal method, the PowerShell method, and the Azure CLI method. Obviously, using the portal method, we'd have to log into the portal and physically use the graphical interface to go and create our group. The PowerShell commandlet would be as shown in the slide here. We would actually copy and paste this command into PowerShell and press enter, and this would create our group. As you can see, our group is marketing. And the command is very similar for bash. We would switch from PowerShell to bash, and then we would paste this command in, and this would create our group called sales. Also, some tips to be aware of: when you are using dynamic users or dynamic devices or membership types, you can only add one or the other, not both. Also, you can add a security group to another security group. This is known as nested groups. You will need an Azure Premium P1 license for your tenant if you want to use dynamic groups. Also, the below are not supported with regards to nested groups: adding groups to a group synced with on-prem AD, adding a security group to an Office 365 group, adding an Office 365 to other Office 365 groups, assigning apps to nested groups, and applying licenses to nested groups. So we're going to go through this training video, and we are going to move over to the portal, and we are going to do this live. So I'm going to switch over to the portal now. As you can see, I've gone ahead and logged into the portal, and we need to navigate to Azure Active Directory in order to create our groups. We can either do it from the Azure services, or we can select it from the menu here. I'm going to select Azure Active Directory. I'm going to go into the Azure Active Directory interface here, and under Manage, I'm going to select Groups. And I'm going to click the New Group button to add a new group. And I'm going to go ahead in there and get my new group sorted out. So I'm going to call my group Accounting. And I'll just paste that in because I've typed it out already. Again, we can create a 365 group or a security group. In our case, we're just going to create a security group, and I would click Create. And this would go ahead and create my group. In order to create a group using Cloud Shell, I'd click on the Cloud Shell icon at the top here. This will open up the Cloud Shell, and as you can see, we're in bash. So I would go ahead and type in my bash command. I have that typed out in Notepad. So I'd go ahead and paste that command in there and press enter. And this will go ahead and create my group. If I scroll down and click the refresh button a couple of times, you will see my group appear there shortly. And you can see there marketing is now showing. Now, to create a group in PowerShell, I have to switch to PowerShell. I need to confirm I want to switch to PowerShell, and this is going to switch the shell to PowerShell. And we can tell we're in PowerShell because we've got this nice blue background. So again, I've got my PowerShell command, so I'm going to go ahead and copy and paste my PowerShell command in and press enter. And this is going to go ahead and create my sales group. Again, I'm just going to drag this down a little bit and tap the refresh button. And as you can see, I have my sales group, my accounting group, and my marketing group. These two groups, sales and marketing, were created using the Cloud Shell. So another heads up that I want to show you guys, say for example, we want to turn accounting into a dynamic group. We would select on the group and go to Properties. And then from the drop down here, underneath the membership types, we could select dynamic user or dynamic group. Unfortunately, this is grayed out because we need a P1 or P2 license in order to do this. So how do we know what licenses we need and what licenses can do what? If we navigate to the Microsoft website, you can see here this explains all the differences between the Office 365 apps, the P1 and the P2 licensing. And as you can see, as we scroll down, you can see with P1 we get password and custom banned passwords. We get password self-write back. There's a lot of things that we get and a lot of things that we don't. As we start moving into the premium, you can see PIM is only available in P1, risk prevention, and so on. And you can see here the cost. The price for a P1 license is $6 a month, and a price for the P2 license is $9 per month. And bear in mind that is per user. So that will give you an idea of the different types of licenses and what you can do and what you cannot do. So make sure that when you're choosing your P1 or P2 licenses that you are selecting the right license. Navigating back to our Azure portal, navigating back to Active Directory, and navigating back to groups, we can see our groups are here. So hopefully this gives you an idea of how to create groups and gives you some basic understanding. A lot of you may know how to do this already, some of you may not. I'd like to thank you for viewing, and I look forward to seeing you in the next video.